This is why you keep the faith. This is why, no matter how dark it looks, you never turn your back on this team. The Chicago Bears just pulled off a 31-27 miracle at Soldier Field against the Green Bay Packers, and we are moving on to the second round of the playoffs. If you are absolutely buzzing from this victory, do me a huge favor right now, smash that like button, share this video with every single Bears fan you know, and hit subscribe so we can ride this wave all the way through the postseason. Can you believe what we just witnessed? I mean, seriously, take a breath and let it sink in. How many times have we sat in this exact spot, watching the Packers rip our hearts out, thinking, here we go again, as the clock winds down? But not today. Today, the script got flipped. Today, the Bears looked their demons in the eye and sent them packing for the off-season. Green Bay is going home on a 4-game losing streak, their season is dead and buried, and the all-time playoff record between these two titans now belongs to Chicago, 2-1. This wasn't just a win, this was an exorcism. This is exactly why we watch this sport. This is the vision Ben Johnson had when he built this unit. This is the payoff for all the suffering. We just witnessed the first playoff victory of the Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson era, and let me tell you, the entire identity of this franchise just shifted. The offensive line, the skill positions, the defense, they now possess the one thing you can't coach, belief. They know they can win when the lights are brightest. They know their season has 5 more weeks of life in it. Like Coach Johnson said, that is the intent, and that is the mindset. Week 1 is in the books. 4 more to go. If you're in Santa Clara, you better start booking your tickets now, because this team is battle-tested and coming for everyone. Let's break down the absolute roller coaster we just survived. If you turned this game off at halftime, I almost don't blame you, but you missed history. It was a nightmare start. The Bears could only muster 3 points in the first 2 quarters while Green Bay put up 21. It felt like the same old story. But then, the football gods blinked. The Packers missed a critical field goal right at the end of the half, and you could feel the air pressure change in the stadium. That was the lifeline we needed. The defense, which looked completely lost in the first half, came out of the locker room a different beast. Dennis Allen made the adjustments of his life. He tightened the screws, confused the coverage, and completely shut down the Packers' momentum. But this turnaround wasn't just about defensive schematics. It was led by the leg of Cairo Santos, who kept us alive when the offense was stalling, and it was orchestrated by the Iceman himself, Caleb Williams. Look, I know the completion percentage was 50%. I know it wasn't the prettiest stat line on paper if you just look at the efficiency. But I do not care. Caleb threw for 361 yards in a playoff game. He posted a 71.6 passer rating, tossed 2 touchdowns, and yes, he had 2 interceptions, but he shook them off like they never happened. That is the difference with this kid. He is resilient. The Iceman moniker isn't just a nickname, it's a description of his pulse in the fourth quarter. He delivered when it mattered most. You don't win the game in the first half, you win it by finishing. Caleb now has 7 comeback wins this season alone. 7. Let that sink in. That is not luck, that is a trait. He walked into Soldier Field, faced a 21-point deficit against our arch-rivals, and orchestrated a historic comeback to advance as the number 2 seed. This is exactly why he was the number 1 overall pick. This is why you pay the offensive line. This is why you bring in Dan Feeney and the guys to protect him. The offense was top 10 in 3 major categories this year for a reason, and today, they proved they can do it on the biggest stage. Now, I have to ask you guys a serious question, and I want to see your answers in the comments section below. Is this the single greatest comeback victory in the history of the Chicago Bears, or does the pure hatred for the Packers just make it feel that way? Let me know what you think. Question of the day. While you're typing that out, we have to talk about the monsters on the outside. Specifically, Colston Loveland. This guy is an absolute animal. 8 receptions. 137 receiving yards. That is an average of 17.1 yards every time he touched the ball. He is my co-MVP of the night, hands down. Why? because he was the heartbeat of the momentum. Sure, there were drops, we aren't ignoring that, but when 3rd and long came up, Loveland. 4th down and the season on the line? Loveland. He took massive hits over the middle and popped right back up. He is tough as nails, reminding me so much of a young Greg Olsen. He is the next great tight end in this league, and for anyone who questioned the draft pick or brought up Tyler Warren's name, forget it. The Bears made the right call. And then there is DJ Moore, the Packers' killer. This man lives to torture Green Bay. He hauled in 6 catches on 7 targets for 64 yards and a score, but the stats don't tell the whole story. I know I was critical of that drop he had in the 4th quarter, it looked bad. But champions have short memories. He came back and made the biggest catch of the game, the play that put the Bears in the driver's seat to seal the deal. After all the bad years in Carolina, after the struggles to get this rebuild going, nobody deserved this moment more than DJ Moore. To see him shine in his first playoff game is poetic justice. We also have to give flowers to DAndre Swift. The amount of disrespect this man has taken from the fanbase and the media has been unreal, but today, he silenced everyone. He was absolute clutch. That catch on the sideline in the 4th quarter? That was the game saver. He managed to keep his feet in, get out of bounds, and stop the clock, setting up the final dagger from Caleb to DJ. Swift has been quietly having a career year, highs in total yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns. He has been a mentor to the younger backs, he's adapted to Eric Bieniemy's style, and despite the rumors, he and Ben Johnson are on the same page. The GM made the trade, but Johnson is making it work. Swift proved his worth today. Let's pivot back to the other side of the ball because the second half defensive performance was nothing short of legendary. Holding Green Bay to just 6 points after they hung 21 on us early? That is championship level adjusting. There was a sequence where we forced 3 or 4 punts in a row, completely suffocating their rhythm. Dennis Allen worked in tandem with Al Harris and the defensive staff to fix the leaks. Now I will say this. We cannot afford to play only one half of defense next week. Allen needs to have these guys ready from the first whistle. We gave up way too many opportunities early on, and against a team like San Francisco, that will be fatal. However, credit where credit is due. Jordan Love actually played a decent game, over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. But you know who wrecked the game plan? Austin Booker. Remember when Josh Jacobs said people were coming after him? Well, Booker arrived. 6 tackles, 3 solo, 2 tackles for loss, and a massive sack. He was flying off the edge, making life miserable for the Packers' backfield. And how about Jaquan Brisker? In a contract year, coming off that scary concussion history last season, he flies around and racks up 9 total tackles and 2 pass deflections. He earned himself some money today. I also want to shout out Tremaine Edmonds. The man is playing hurt. That groin injury is clearly bothering him, and he is going to be feeling it tomorrow, but adrenaline is a hell of a drug. He posted 6 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. He left it all on the field. On a sadder note, we have to send positive vibes to TJ Edwards. Seeing his ankle get torn up like that was heartbreaking, and it looks like he's going to be out for a long time, likely missing a chunk of next year. That means DeMarco Jackson had to step up, and he did. For huge tackles and relief. He's likely earned himself a contract extension with that performance under pressure. Listen to me, Bears fans. Your team is not packing their lockers. Your team is preparing for another week of football. The Green Bay Packers are watching from their couches while we prepare for battle. I could not be happier, and I could not be more grateful for every single one of you riding with us on this journey. This is a new era. The curse is broken. If you are as hyped as I am, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe right now. I want to see the comments section flooded with, "Bear down, loud and proud." We aren't done yet. We are just getting started. Bear down, baby.